Morning Sun Coast. Broken down, I've run aground in perfect need of you. The life you bring, you breathe on me. For out of you will comes everything. So we breathe in deep this love. We breathe in deep this love. And it's so beautiful how only you can satisfy this heart. And it's so beautiful how only you can satisfy this heart. For you'll always be the life I need. Creation sings your melody. The earth surrenders. It's a masterpiece. So we breathe in deep this love. And we breathe in deep this love. And it's so beautiful how only you can satisfy this heart. And it's so beautiful, well, how only you can satisfy this heart. Can we sing that loud this morning? Here we go. It's so beautiful how only you can satisfy this heart. Yes, you can. And it's so beautiful how only you can satisfy this heart. For you'll always be the grace holds that ground. Your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Grace holds me now. Grace holds me grace holds me now. Oh, your grace holds me now. Oh, here I stay. Your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Healed and forgiven. Look where my chains are now. Death has no hold on me. 'Cause your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Your grace holds me now. Grace holds me now. Grace holds me now. Look where my chains are now. Death has no hold on me. 'Cause your grace holds that crown. And your grace holds me now. And your grace holds me now. I know it hurts, it's hard to breathe sometimes. These nights are long, you've lost the will to fight. Is anybody out there? Can you lead me to the light? Is anybody out there? Tell me it'll all be alright. You
So it goes, it's such an honor to be here with y'all this morning. And that song's just, isn't it incredible? It's just such a great reminder that no matter what we're going through, if we recognize God's presence, that he is with us and he surrounds us. And not just from this kind of like a mystic surrounding, but also from his people. God's love is shown through his people as well. And that's a great reminder of that one. But we have this song we've been singing for a couple months now. It's quickly becoming my favorite song. And the cool thing about like what we get to do up here is we get like a front row seat. Like I know you guys can't see yourself, but we can see you. And it's really, really magical because there's something special about coming into this room together and everybody just singing the same words. And I really believe God moves during music. And seeing this like at one-ment of his people, his children, just singing these songs, closing their eyes, it's a beautiful thing. And so thank you for letting us be a part of that and seeing that. And this song, Abandoned, is a great meditation. It's a great reminder that, God, I'm your child. And I'm going to give my life to your will and live my life the best way I can. So I am completely abandoning and just surrendering my heart to yours. Make my heart like yours. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do this morning, in this moment, is just close your eyes. Don't think about anything else. Just be in this moment and sing these words and see how God moves. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. Something isn't adding up. This wild exchange you offer us. I gave my worst, you gave your love. Seems hard to believe. You're telling me you chose the cross. You're telling me I'm worth that much. But if that's the measure of your love, how else would I sing? But completely, deeply, sold out, sincerely abandoned. I'm completely, freely, hands to the ceiling and never. Oh, my one life endeavor to match your surrender to me. Don't care who sees me abandoned. Oh, I surrender all. And I just can't get over it. What kind of self-control is this? At your fingertips, but on the cross you remain. And I can't display that kind of love, but I can praise with everything I've got. Since death had all of its power on, and just like the grave, I completely, deeply sold out. Sincerely abandoned. I'm completely, freely, hands to the ceiling and never. yours, Lord. Consider it yours, Lord. The failures I hide, the victories I've done, the battles I fight, each crown that I hold. Consider it yours, Lord. Consider it yours, Lord. All the glory forever, the grave that you are, the praise of the heavens, the kingdom to come. Consider it yours, Lord. Consider it yours. I'm completely, deeply, sold out, sincerely amazed. I'm completely, freely, hands to the ceiling amazed. My one life endeavor to match your surrender, to mirror not my will but yours. I'm completely, deeply, don't care who sees me abandoned. Oh, I surrender all. I surrender all. And I surrender. So it goes, thank y'all so much for singing with us this morning. We've got a quick video, but I want you guys to remain standing, and then we're gonna have some fun. Let's do it.
Have you ever felt like you were just existing in life but not truly living it? Do you feel like there's so much more to life than work, responsibilities, and just plain surviving? In the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, our hero Ferris asked a very appropriate question.
How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this?
While we at Suncoast don't condone lying, deception, or truancy of any type, what we do promote is leaning into and living out God's Spirit that lives within us, always and already. Awakening to this presence of God in our lives allows us to live life to the fullest in the present, not to dwell on past regrets or mistakes, and to not try to worry about or overthink the unforeseen future. Just living our best lives, like Jesus tells us in John 10:10, I have come to give you life, and life more abundantly than you've ever experienced. Get ready, Suncoast, for today's message, entitled The Gospel According to Ferris Bueller.
Well, shake it up, baby. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on and work it on out. Work it on out. Well, work it on out. Work it on out. Yeah, you look so good. You look so good. You know you got me going now. Got me going. Just like I knew you would. Well, we'll shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, baby, now. Come on, baby. Come on and work it on out. Work it on out. Well, you twist and twirl. Twist and twirl. You know you twist so fine. Twist so fine. You wanna twist a little closer now. A little closer. Just let me know that you're mine. Know you're mine.
Sit down if you can. Wow. Isn't this band amazing? Hope, you look just like Ferris Bueller. Hope, man, that's an amazing costume. She's like, leave me alone, Troy. Good morning, Suncoast. My name's Dr. Troy Doucet. I'm one of the teaching pastors here at Suncoast. We're so thankful you're with us, whether you're live in person in our beautiful campus in Sarasota or watching online. Thanks for being here. Man, I love this band. I love this series. How many of you guys were here last week for our sweet, delicious trip with Wonka? It was amazing. We do this every summer. It's a 5-week series where we unpack biblical truths and principles from some of the most iconic movies in our culture. Last week, Wonka taught us a very important lesson that we've learned, that coming to church is cool and just sort of smelling and dwelling is a good way to start. But man, it's really when you dig in and taste and see that God is good. That's what we're called to do. Now, when you smell and dwell, how many guys ever smelt really good food, but you never got a chance to taste it? You're just passing by a bakery and you smell that fresh bread and you just want to take that loaf and tear into it. That's awesome. Smelling and dwelling is a good initial step for us, but when we start to taste and see that God is good, we realize this important truth that being in church is never a replacement for being the church. We begin to see God in new ways, active and present in our life when we begin to taste and see. We heard from my buddy Randy Marchbank last week. He gave his testimony after years of living as an atheist. His wife would attend Suncoast for 12 years. 8 months ago, he started coming just to smell and dwell, to check it out. Listen to the band because they kick butt, right? But then all of a sudden, these sermons and these teachings began to resonate in his heart, and he began to take it to his work, to his family, and apply these principles to his life, tasting and seeing. And now, man, he is on fire for God. But as you can see today, today's sermon is about that cultural hero, that iconoclast, the one and only Bueller. How many guys have seen Ferris Bueller? Let me see. If not, we need to pray for you because this is an amazing movie. Today I'm calling the sermon, The Gospel According to Ferris. Now, I know some of you might be offended by that, and that's okay. The gospel, the word gospel simply means in Greek, good news. And the truth is this, is that Ferris Bueller has a lot to teach us about what it means to live a life that is grounded in real significance, not just mere existence. I should begin by saying that especially if you've seen the movie, we at Suncoast, we do not condone in any way, shape, or form teenage truancy, lying to high school principals, deceiving your parents, hacking into high school attendance records, or even carjacking Ferraris from your best friend's father. Although many of our pastors and staff have done that in the past, but that's why we have Jesus, right? But I'm just curious, don't raise your hand, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Have you ever called in sick for work on a day when you weren't sick? You just wanted to go shopping, maybe go to the beach. I feel you, I've done it. But I don't like calling in sick to work. Work is a priority for me. I love my job. I love my colleagues. I love my community. But most importantly, I love my boss. Man, he's right back there somewhere. But seriously, Ferris Bueller is such a great film. And his notorious day off reminds me of the gospel of Jesus in many, many ways, if you think about it. I'm going to kind of bring some things to mind. In the movie, Ferris, just like Jesus, has an arch nemesis. Who remembers his name? Mr. Rooney. Ed Rooney is the dean of students. And when I think about Ferris's relationship to Ed, I do see the gospel in a way. You see, Ed Rooney is the dean of students over at Glenbrook North High School where Ferris attends. And he's explaining to his personal secretary, whose name is Grace, by the way, he's explaining to Grace that Ferris Bueller is essentially the devil incarnate. Listen to what he says about Ferris. He goes, Ferris Bueller gives good kids bad ideas. And the last thing he needs as dean of students is 1,500 Ferris Bueller disciples running around his campus. Ferris jeopardizes Rooney's ability to properly govern the student body. But Rooney's secretary, Miss Grace, looks over at him and goes, "Oh no, Ed. Ed, Ferris makes you look like the other biblical word for donkey. He makes you look that way, Ed." And Rooney assures Grace that she's wrong. And he says, "No, no, no. You've got it all wrong, Grace. Ferris is a troublemaker." To which Grace replies, "Oh, Ed, he's popular with all the students. The sportos, the motorheads, the geeks, the wastoids, the dweebies. They all adore Ferris. They think he's one righteous dude." I can also tell you that Jesus made it very hard for the religious leaders of his time to effectively govern and efficiently maintain their control over this religious game that they were playing. Jesus put a monkey wrench into literally centuries of accepted and enforced religious dogma. But here's the thing, there's a reason why both Ferris and Jesus are doing the things that they're doing. They both see something. They both see that life can be more than just believing in good things like a high school education or believing that God exists. Both Ferris and Jesus believe that life is more than just strictly and perfectly following the rules given to us to a T, like Ferris taking his infamous day off of school, or Jesus breaking the law by healing people on the Sabbath. Ferris famously said in the quote that you just heard in the video, "How can I be expected to focus on school on such a day like this?" Sounds a lot like Jesus going, "How can I be expected to keep the Sabbath when it's such a great day to heal sick people on?" That's Jesus. That's Ferris. But let's look at the text for today. It comes from John 10:10. Here's what the writer John says. "A thief comes with the purpose to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Yet I, the Son of God, Jesus, I have come that you might not only have life, but that you live this life of yours to the fullest." I love this verse. It's a very short verse, but there's a depth to it when you think about the complexity within its simplicity. The context of what John is saying here is that Jesus is loosely comparing God's children to sheep. And sheep will follow their shepherd according to the recognition of the shepherd's voice. And this is the thing about a shepherd. He always has the sheep's best interest in mind, to keep them safe at all times, at all costs, even if it means losing his own life. But I want to be very, very clear here. This is not sacrificial language. The shepherd doesn't die for the sheep because they're too stupid to follow the rules, nor does the shepherd take the place of the sheep because the sheep doesn't know any better. This is not sacrificial language. This is identity language. Let me explain. Last week, remember, we talked about Peter stepping out of the boat, walking on water with Jesus. Why did Peter do that? Why did he take such a risk? Well, because he saw Jesus doing it. And what does a follower of Jesus want to do? Follow Jesus. So if he can do it, I can do it. Jesus, if it's you, tell me to get out the boat and I'll come to you. And Jesus says, come on. He never reminds Peter about his past. He never informs Peter about his troubled future. He says, come on, this is what a follower does. A follower follows. And what does a sheep do? A sheep sheeps. That's what it does. And in this verse, what does a thief do? His sole purpose is to what? Thieve. But what do thieves steal? Seems like a very simple question, and it's a very simple answer. Thieves come to steal what does not belong to them. And in this verse, Jesus is saying what? This is your life. It is your life to live. It's identity. It is something that belongs to you. I have come that you might not only have life, in other words, possess it, but this life that is always already yours, you will learn how to live it to the fullest. This language is possessive and identitive. The thief will come to your life to steal what does not belong to him. It's your life. Now, I want to be very clear again. I'm giving you a lot of, the thief is not the devil. It's not Satan. It's not some demon or some supernatural creature or being. A thief can be anything or anyone that comes to steal away the opportunity for you to experience this life in all of its goodness, in all of its abundance that God has promised you. So let me give you some examples just so you can have some clear image. Let me give you some thieves of life. You guys ready? You might want to write some of these down. Number one, comparison is a thief of your life. We live in a world with over 8 billion people right now, and most of these people are on social media. And there has never been a more convenient time to look into people's lives to see how they live, to see how they tick, to see what makes them happy. And I think it's a beautiful thing that I could see my family in Louisiana and how they're living on a day-to-day basis and message and all these things. But if we're not careful, if you're not careful, you begin to compare your life that you possess, that you embody, that you own to somebody else's success, to somebody else's beauty, to somebody else's material possessions, to somebody else's career. And then you start wanting that life instead of the life God gave you. And that will steal your life away. Comparison is the absolute robber of joy. You guys ready for another one? Unresolved conflict. Unresolved conflict will steal your joy, your happiness, and your peace. Conflict will come, and sometimes we let it fester. We let it sit. We let it turn to bitterness, anger, resentment, and that prevents us from living this life to the fullest. Do you have that in your life right now? Do you have unresolved conflict with someone, a friend, a family member? If so, the thief not only has their sights set on stealing your joy, peace, and happiness, you've given them the keys to your house. That's unresolved conflict. Worry, anxiety is another one. Anxiety causes this mental phenomenon. It's called anhedonia. Anhedonia is this mental phenomenon where a person who once loved and enjoyed doing certain things, but because of worry and anxiety, they can no longer experience joy in that thing. These are just a few things that keep us from fully owning and embodying our lives, the lives that God gave you to have, the life that God put his very breath into, your life. It's your life. I love the Christian rock band Switchfoot. Man, they are amazing. I've watched them for years, since I was a teenager. And they have a song called This Is Your Life, and the lead singer, his name's John Foreman. He asked this question during the song. He goes, this is your life. Are you who you want to be? This is your life. Is it everything you wished it could be? Point number one, if you're taking notes, is this. There is a difference between a life in which you apparently exist and one in which you abundantly live. Ferris Bueller, both famously and quite philosophically, says this in the movie: life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop to look around once in a while, you could miss it. I love that quote from Ferris because it brings up this very tough question. Am I simply existing or am I living? Do you just go through the motions each day? Your alarm clock goes off, you wake up, you shower, you brush your teeth, you clock in, you clock out, you eat. It's like the more we simply exist in life, the less we learn how to actually live this life that God gave us. How do I truly learn to live with meaning and significance and purpose and passion? How do I get that? I love this band. This band plays passionately, and I worship passionately. I mirror that passion, not for a performance, not to try to be perfect, but because that's what is erupting inside of my heart and inside of my mind. I want to live my life, not just exist in it. Do you go through the motions with your significant other? Oh, we've been married 40 years, 50 years, 20 years, 5 years. Not much passion or intimacy. Am I getting too personal? Good. Esther Perel, she's the world's leading authority the leading psychiatrist on marriage and relationships. And this is what she says, a very troubling sort of assessment that she has in working with couples over the last 20 years. She says, when passion and excitement in a relationship decline, it's not uncommon for one partner or both partners to begin to look elsewhere. But this is what I have found most often in that case. They are not rejecting their spouse. They have come to reject themselves and who they have become. What a powerful sentiment. What a powerful truth. You're not rejecting your other, you're rejecting yourself because you have not learned how to fully live and enjoy this life that God's given you. Your marriage most matters, so treat it like it matters most. What about going through the motions, just existing as a parent? Maybe you just kind of see yourself now as a financial provider for these little parasites, right? They eat too much, they're sick too often, and they're grateful too little. I get it. If you find yourself like that, as much as I love my children, I find myself thinking that too. But here's how you change that. If you want to stop going through the motions of just being a parent, find a parent who's lost a child. Talk to them. Find a parent who wanted to have a child so bad but could not conceive. Talk to them. Don't just listen to my sermon and get some perspective change. That's just information. That's all I'm giving you is information. Information is great. But until you get proximity to that issue, talk to that parent who's lost that child, who wanted to have one but couldn't. Now you no longer just have perspective, you have proximity. That's where transformation leads. Don't just take information, seek transformation. I got to see the leadership guru and life coach Zig Ziglar in Dallas many years ago. And he spoke about this idea of how living your best life is found in going the extra mile and being a husband or wife. It's going the extra mile and being a better parent. It's going the extra mile and following Jesus. And he says this, it's not about this thing of, oh, I need to live life the best I can. But it's rather, I need to live my best life that I can while I can, because there's no traffic in the extra mile. That's some preaching. There ain't no traffic in the extra mile. Everybody's trying to do as bare minimum as they can. But when you go that extra mile, boom, no traffic, and the life that you want to live opens up. And that's a truth I live by. The life I most want is often found down the road I least want to travel. Don't just exist, y'all. Live. Live your life. Point number 2, if you're taking notes. It will be impossible to experience peace if you're always expecting perfection. Mr. Rooney, in this film, is relentless in his quest to catch Ferris skipping school. Because his sole purpose, like the thief in the verse, right, is to steal what does not belong to him. Mr. Rooney's sole purpose is to catch Ferris so he can have him repeat his senior year. This is so reminiscent to the religious leaders who are always trying to catch Jesus in some theological pickle by trying to question his understanding and teaching about God. Put him to the test. And in Luke 15, Jesus is sitting down having dinner with tax collectors and sinners of all sorts. And these religious leaders confront him. Because why? Because they're always demanding and expecting perfection from everyone except themselves. And they ask Jesus, why do you do this? Why do you hang out with these people? And Jesus responds by telling a story of a man who had 2 sons. The younger son, both imperfectly and impatiently, demands his inheritance from his dad. But there's an older son who perfectly and pragmatically attempts to keep these laws required of his father. The young son demands his inheritance. He leaves home. He squanders the money. He lives with pigs, but he longs in his heart to come back home. Why home? Because home is where peace is found. And he's even willing to abdicate his position as a son and become a servant just to come back home. But yet his dad looks out the window and he sees this prodigal son returning. And he runs to him. In all of his wasteful imperfection, he runs to him and fully restores him. but yet there's an older brother. In all of his seeming perfection, keeping all of the father's rules, all of the father's so-called regulations, what is shown about him is that he has no true relationship with his father. He only knows of externally performing for the father's laws. He has not experienced the inner peace of the father's love. You see, here's the truth. Living your best life is not about living towards perfection. It is about living a life in connection to God, into connection to God's family. And we'll all have it at some point in our life. We'll all experience some Mr. Rooney trying to hold our feet to the fire, to follow the rules, to stay under the speed limit, to color inside the lines of your life. But Ferris and Jesus remind us that God is not looking for perfection. God is looking for a life of connection. And this is the beauty of it. Connection with God is not something you have to wait for. It's something you just start to walk in. God is always already present within you right now. Awaken to that truth. Because if all you expect is perfection, you'll never have that life of peace and abundance. Point number 3, guys, if you're taking notes. I love this point. This is actually a paraphrase of my favorite philosopher, the German Friedrich Nietzsche. Sometimes people will call you crazy because you're dancing. And it's just that they cannot hear the music. Nietzsche's assessment here is not that we should just simply live life on your terms, find your truth or whatever that means, or dance to the beat of your drum. For me as a follower of Jesus, it's imperative for me to recognize the truth of this, that sometimes God is going to call me to do things that people will think is crazy. Why? Because they can't hear the music. They didn't get that call from God, and that's okay. I love the ending parade scene you saw as Hope and the band played, where Ferris jumps on the parade float. It's one of the most iconic moments in cinema history. He jumps and he begins to sing Twist and Shout, and others in the city look first sort of quizzically. What's this guy doing? Then after what? That passion becomes contagious, then everybody jumps in, and they start singing and dancing along. But undoubtedly, someone outside the city seeing this would be what? What is happening here? What is going on in downtown Chicago? Listen to these troubling words of Jesus from Matthew 16:25. He says this, anyone who wants to save his life must lose it. But anyone who loses her life will find it. This whole sermon is to tell you this one thing. It's your life. Live it. Enjoy it. Experience it to the fullest. But here's the secret sauce. You guys ready? The secret sauce about your life is that it's not always about you. Don't hide it. Yeah, sure, thieves are gonna come to try to steal your life, steal your joy, steal your peace, steal your happiness, but you don't have to hide your life away from that like you do cash or jewelry. This is your life, but it's not just your life to live abundantly, it's your life to give away freely. The thief wants to kill, steal, and destroy, but God wants you to give your life away. Not have it stolen from you, not have you hide it away. God wants you to live in such abundance that you can give a piece of your life by sharing it with others. And Jesus says this, if you give your life away, then you will find it. I love that Greek word there. That Greek word there for finding your life is eurexo. Eurexo. We get the word euphoria. It's like the light bulb going off as a teacher. It means you will finally understand what this life, that is your life, is really all about. Living life abundantly means that I am frequently giving it away and sharing it with others. That's the call of Christ. That's the call. Dance to that music, even though others may not hear it. Let me pray for you, Suncoast. Father, I pray right now for my friends, my family, my community, that we would look at this movie, Ferris Bueller, through different lens, that we would see Christ in the life of Ferris, not someone who's just rebellious, trying to break rules, but someone who is teaching us how to live abundantly, how to live not in perfection, but in connection, and how to dance to the music even when no one hears the song. God, awaken us to that truth of the life that you've given us, that you've blessed us with, that you've placed a part of your spirit in. Let us live in that truth today. It's in the strong name of Christ we pray. Amen. I want you to stand with me, Suncoast. I'm going to close with a little story. I told this story almost 3 years ago, but it's so apropos to what I'm speaking of today. About 12 years ago or so, I was a youth pastor at a church in Plano, Texas. Oh, man, Sean's here. You know what's up, man. Dallas, baby. We're in Plano, Texas, and I was taking about 150 high school students to New Orleans to do mission work. And there was a guy in my church, he had two sons who were very active in my youth group, Mason and Michael. Their dad's name was Mark, and Mark was a very wealthy entrepreneur, business owner, owned multiple businesses in Dallas. And we're signing up for the mission trip. And I really heard like the Spirit of God speak to my heart and say, I want Mark, the dad, to come on this trip. So I approach him. I say, hey, Mark, man, I feel like I've been praying for you guys, praying for your family. I feel like God would want you to come on this trip. And he's like, oh, Troy, I'm a busy man. I mean, this guy had Macy's and Dillard's and J.C. Penney all on his client registry, right? These were all clients of his business. And he said, I'm very busy, Troy. There's no way I could take a week off and go to this mission trip. And I said, man, I really feel like this is something God would want you to do, man. This is like life-changing stuff. He goes, pulls out his checkbook. And he goes, how about I just pay for the whole trip? What's the trip cost? About $25,000? I said, about. He goes, I could just write you a check. I went, no, Mark, no, I don't need your money. I need your life, right? The money's easy for you. Like I realize you writing me a $25,000 check is like me loaning you 15 bucks. I said, but I'll still take your money, bro, if you want to write that check. That's cool. And he's like, I just can't do it, Troy. I just can't. About 4 days later, I get a phone call from Mark, and he's like, dude, let me take you to lunch. So we go to lunch at a little cafe in Dallas. And he says, I have not been able to sleep since we talked after church on Sunday. I was like, really? He goes, I want to come on this mission trip. I was like, boom. Takes off of work, which to his employees was like a crazy man dancing that they could not hear the music, right? He comes on this trip, and I strategically put him at this home of this little old lady named Miss Guillory. She was living in a FEMA trailer while we were working on her house, trying to get all of her sheetrock and get it taped and bedded and everything. And man, we worked our butts off that week, and we could not finish the job, but she was so appreciative. Our last night there wasn't a dry eye in this lady's driveway. We were just hugging her and saying, hey, we'll see you soon. Everyone was crying. She was just the loveliest lady. 78 years old with breast cancer and still as vivacious and passionate as you'd ever see. We get back to Texas, and we have this big Sunday program coming up for all of our church. It's our Testimony Sunday, where all of our students and leaders kind of share what God did on the trip. Mark calls me a couple of days before that Sunday, like on a Wednesday. He goes, Troy, I got this crazy idea. I'm like, I'm all ears, brother. He goes, I want to fly Miss Guillory in from New Orleans. I want to hide her in the green room. And after all the kids give their testimony, I want her to come out, surprise everyone. I was like, that sounds great. Who's paying for this? And he's like, I got it, man. I got you. So I fly to New Orleans. I go pick up Miss Guillory, go back to the airport. We fly to Dallas. Man, we put her at the Dallas Hilton in this beautiful hotel. We wine and dine her Friday, Saturday night. And Sunday, we have this powerful service where students are talking about what God did on this mission trip. And I get up to kind of close out, and I go, oh, and by the way, we have a special guest that you've only seen on the screen in pictures. And I call her out, and she walks out. 150 students don't care about the decorum or the expectation of church rituals. They bum rush the stage and literally grab and embrace this woman, and they are crying like she's there in the present. And I look on the front row, and there's my buddy Mark, just sitting down, tears coming down his eyes. And I was just like, you heard the music, and you were brave enough to dance when others could not. So Suncoast, go out of these doors and live your life with passion and purpose, because God loves you today, and so do I. Have a good Sunday, guys.